Hi, everyone. Um, so, welcome to part 2 of our meet and greet. I'm Scott.
And I'm Michael.
And we are...
The Toothless Wonder. I'm sorry. We are two fat beaches.
Yeah, so we're not on a beach, but we are P-H-A-T. And the reason we were chuckling is because we got about 5 minutes into recording this and had to restart it because someone forgot to plug in the microphone. And it was just us making lots of faces at each other and staring a lot. So we hope that this is more entertaining to you than that was.
Keep in mind, I'm doing everything, okay? I'm sorry if I forgot to do one thing. I do so much. Academy applause.
You have to add it in.
That's too much work.
So, like I was saying, this is several weeks later, months even after the first one. It's just a coincidence that we're in the same place, wearing the same outfits. Who knows? Weird how the universe works, right? So we are going to do part 2 of our meet and greet, the second half of these questions, so we can learn a little bit about each other and teach you about us, which really that's what we're all here for.
Because even in the last one, there was a couple times we were just like,
yeah,
did not know that.
Yeah, would have never thought of Sweet Valley High, ever for you. But yeah, if you missed part 1, go find it. Certainly, it's not sequential, for God's sake. So watch whichever one you want in what order. You live your life, and I support you. But without further ado, let's start with these questions. Shall we, gal?
Let's go.
If you could abolish one piece of modern technology, what would it be and why?
The Rumba. You know, the vacuum. Roomba? Roomba. Because why? Because people are getting lazy. Vacuum your own carpet. Sweep your own floors. I mean, unless you're,
old,
elderly, or handicapable, or whatever, certain scenarios work. But for the most part, vacuum your own floors. At me.
The views expressed by Michael do not represent the views expressed by this channel.
I'm just saying, we've all seen Maximum Overdrive. We've all seen The Terminator. We've all seen how machines will eventually take over the world, and it's going to start with the Roomba. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you do put a blueprint of your house onto that app.
Yeah.
Because you tell it where to, not go.
And now you got robbers that have access to your house. See, okay, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead and Siri your whole house down, or whatever it's called. And
Roomba, not Siri.
No, I mean, but people will connect all of their stuff to their house.
It's all one thing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it starts with Roomba. Watch.
Well, mine would be DoorDash because it's made me so very goddamn lazy. Because some nights after a hard day of work, and I just don't feel like cooking, I can literally hit 2 buttons and order food. But here's my issue with you, DoorDash. I want you to look me right in my eyes. I go to the Chinese restaurant so often, they know me by name. They send me holiday cards. I have put at least 2 of their children through college, for God's sake. I know the prices, and I know that you upcharge by about 50 cents for each one. And shady business dealings aside that you may do, I don't appreciate you. So you're voted out. DoorDash, gone.
Adam.
At me. Son of Discord.
Yay.
That was a little negative. I'm like,
it was. This is not sponsored by whatever I'm drinking.
Oh my god. The ASMR moment of the day.
Yes, it is an AMSAR. The rest of this will be AMSA.
Anyway.
I can't pronounce it. What is your guilty pleasure?
Okay, so I have an answer for this one. And the true answer is that I don't have guilty pleasures. Because if I feel guilty about doing something, then I'm probably not going to do it. I mean, if we're kind of being tee-hee about it, it would probably be listening to Ashley Simpson on Spotify.
Oh.
Yeah. But again, not guilty about it. Michelle?
Wendy's Frosty. I am a diabetic. And sugar is not should be in my lifeline. And, dairy does not like me as well. So, Wendy's Frosty is definitely something I should not have, but then the universe knows, because they like to have the Wendy's line be like 45 minutes long, and then all they got is vanilla Frosty, and don't nobody want no damn vanilla Frosty. I only want my chocolate Frosty. Who eats vanilla Frosty?
I like the vanilla Frosty.
Write down below if you eat vanilla Frosty, because I want to know so I can call you out.
Right, are you team vanilla Frosty? If so, what was your nickname? We're going to change the wording of this. What was your nickname in school? Or what's your favorite nickname someone's given you? Yeah, whichever one.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I grew up never having a nickname. I've always been, for the most part, just Michael. That's why a lot of people know me as Mikol instead of my regular name, because at the very least, if I couldn't get people to give me a nickname, I was going to do a new spelling. However, in high school, back in my thin days, I did have a rather abnormal large, well, still do, but it was more noticeable because it was on a thinner body. I was known as Big Booty Michael. I'd walk around, people would like, here come Big Booty Michael. And I happily threw that thing around. If I had it, flaunt it. And there are people that know me from high school that can tell you yes. Or they might tell you no, but they were haters, so it doesn't matter.
Right, fuck them.
5 nicknames for you, but go ahead.
Well, okay, so I was a little kid once when I was in grade school. I spilled something on the front of me, and then people felt like forever called me Scotty Potty because I spilled a soda, or it was milk. It would have been milk because it was grade school, on myself, and they never fucking forgot it, and they still call it. They still, they call me that forever. But the nickname most people would have given me. So I went to high school with a girl who ended every word in face. So she would say she was happy face or sad face or something along those lines. And somebody called me Scotty Face in front of like family and stuff. And so for whatever reason, people called me that name just stuck. So my sister-in-law still will call me occasionally Scotty Face. Yeah. What were your nicknames for me, Michael?
Once again, once we set up our Patreon, we will have this discussion then. Until then, let's get on to the next one.
We'll have to figure that out. I have an issue with Patreon.
Some other channel. Maybe we'll do an adult channel. We'll see.
We'll see. Stick along for the ride, though. You'll see, too.
Oh, Lord. When was the last time you climbed a tree just for fun?
Well, that's simple, because my fat ass has never climbed a tree for fun. Actually, I've never climbed a tree at all. Like, the idea of having to exert to get up, like, why? And I'm tall already. I know what it's like to be high. And I was 19 once, so I really know what it's like to be high. So, yeah, I've never climbed a tree. No. Have you?
30 years ago, when I was 10, was probably the last time that I climbed a tree. Used to live in Columbus, Ohio with my aunt and cousins, and we had this big old tree in the backyard. And we used to climb that tree every chance that we get and get as high as we can and all of that stuff. I loved it. I was athletic when I was younger. Ran track and everything. I don't know why I stopped climbing trees, but maybe we'll do a recording of us climbing a tree. We'll circle back to this one day. We'll do an episode, Michael and Scotty, 2 fat beaches day climbing, out, just a day out where we go do athletic things. It'd be probably be more like a Mad TV mixture, like where Oprah Kenny
yeah.
Rogers was
Oh.
always doing the pranking stuff, and it'll probably be more like that. Just us going now, trying to climb a tree and falling down.
It all sounds okay.
It sounds wonderful.
Well, stay tuned for that. That'll be fun for us all, seeing us climb trees and walk. Which 1900s era would you travel back to, and why?
Okay, so
Well, you lived
I'm
through most of them, so.
With 1900s and 1980s.
Ooh, that wasn't a good time for us.
Okay, anytime
Actually,
was not
most
a good time.
Most of the 1900s were not a good time for us, actually. Yeah, so.
I think I would probably have had a tiny bit worse.
Yeah, you would have maybe. There were some of those decades in there that it probably maybe not wouldn't have been that fun for you.
You know, us
Yeah.
walking down the street
I don't know.
probably
Yeah.
wouldn't end well
No.
for one of us. Definitely. Unless you just start prancing down the street or something stereotypical.
So normal.
So no. So if I had to go back to the 1900s, since that's what the kids keep saying, oh, you were born in the 1900s. Technically, yes, I was. Till the 80s, right when I was born. I mean, just go from there.
Yeah, I would do 90s. Like, it would be nice to kind of appreciate things from the 90s again, and not in like a nostalgic way, but like an actual like.
Yeah.
These are like sex bracelets. My God, do you remember the sex bracelets? You guys comment below, or like watching The Real World as it came on again, like a world before New Orleans.
But the 80s had the good cartoons. Saturday mornings was, oh my Jesus, oh, that was the best. Wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning with your little breakfast, you know, your little sausage, which if my cousin is watching, I still remember when you took my sausage when we were watching Saturday cartoons. But, you know, and then just you watch cartoons from 7 o'clock until like 2 o'clock. And it was the greatest time because there was cartoons everywhere.
Well, in the 90s, we had this thing, I don't know if you know of it, called Cartoon Network. That was cartoons all the time.
I'm sorry, Snorkels. Muppet Babies.
Are snorkels the
Thundercats.
thing with like the dicks for noses?
Oh.
Or no, it was the head.
They had
wasn't
the
it?
and I even had one when I was a kid. I loved them. And Teddy Ruxpin.
I did have a Teddy Ruxpin. Yeah.
The 80s were a good year. And you had the Toys R Us theme song. I used to cry with that.
Oh, you don't want. Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't want to grow up. Toys R Us kid. I don't remember the words, but I can hear it in my head.
Yeah.
All right, my turn. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite book you've ever read?
Oh, so some of you may also have this thing. Post grad school, I hate reading. I never want to read again. I hate it. I'm so tired of reading. But before that, it probably would have been. Oh, it's Whoopi Goldberg's. Whoopi Goldberg's book. I don't remember the name of it, but it was so goddamn funny. Like, I remember reading it. It would have been junior high-ish era from a library. And in school, like in our like homeroom, whatever we called it, and just laughing so hysterically that I had to like, I got in trouble. It was so funny. Michael?
So I know I talked about how I would live in the world of Sweet Valley High because of how much I read. But my favorite book, and I used to read this book over and over and over, would have to be Anne Rice's Queen of the Damned. I love women of power, great power, whether it's strength, magic, whatever. And I love the story of Akasha and Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
And I love the story of the twins because red's my favorite color, and I love redheads. And then the whole redhead twins versus Akasha. Like I loved all of it. I love women in power, and that book was just it did things to me I didn't expect for it to do.
And just as a side, what do you think of the movie?
They took some creative differences with what they were going for. Aaliyah killed it. She loved her. She was a beautiful, gorgeous, and just she embodied that role the best that she could. And everything else was there. It was watchable in the sense that I had to watch it to watch Akasha.
We watched it. It was a movie. It was a movie. Yeah. I do remember, kind of having a thing for the guy that played Lestat when I was younger. Not now.
He was hot.
Yeah.
Was hot. The deal I have with that is like they just, and with a lot of movie adaptations, is they take a lot of the good stuff and change it and then try to heterize it. And then like it's just like the whole Maharet thing, just that didn't happen. And then the fact that, they were supposed to be young girls, younger than
Well, yeah, because isn't one of them in another movie played by Kirsten Dunst when she was like 5? I don't know.
No, that was...
I don't know.
That was interview
guys. Whatever. It's the same universe.
One of the things we're looking at doing is doing some reaction videos. So maybe we'll take him on a journey, unfortunately, through the Anne Rice movies.
Chronicles. All right.
Yes.
It'll be great fun, I'm sure.
It will be, sort of.
Okay. Here we go. What was your first impression of me when we met? Are we being honest?
Yes, we'll be honest. Okay. I thought you were a whore. Now, and to be fair, my introduction to you was you were sleeping with someone.
Right. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And was breaking beds and all kinds of other stuff.
Oh my god.
And you were very much just was the type of person that would like sleep with other people. And it was just a whole bunch of drama going on that was centered around
person
you.
That I didn't realize you were, although would you really think back about it, had that person, never existed, we would have, who knows, I mean,
yeah. It's
so crazy to think about that, but, no, I knew that was going to be your answer, and to be fair, twas, my first impressions of you were that I thought you were bitchy. Because you just looked so mean. Yeah, I had that about a few people, and kind of like that extended thing of just being like, I thought like someone just hated me. So yeah, I thought maybe you were a little mean.
Yeah. I would be remiss not to say that, you're not the only person who have thought that I was mean, stuck up, or whatever when first meeting me. But as we know, I am none of those things. I'm humble.
I was going to say, yeah, and no one's ever called me a whore, so I've never heard that. I'm kind of surprised, actually. Your turn.
And nobody's ever called me a whore because I don't do those things. But I also don't slut shame. Live your life.
Yeah, actually, I don't care.
Live your life. And if you have something left over, come see me.
Yeah.
Mama's been dry.
I have no.
Okay. Were you the same or different in high school?
Oh my god, I was such a nerd. And hey, I'm nerdy now. Like, I like video games and shit. But I mean, I wasn't out, but it was one of those things like we all knew, because I'm sure that you all can hear my voice. People have heads. They can tell. We all knew. But I wasn't out. And I was just so nerdy. And I was awkward. Like, I'm socially awkward now, but in like, in like I don't want to say like cute endearing way, but I make it work for me. I did not know how to make it work for me in high school. Like I just did not. I was oh my god, and people. I also like had a big fucking chip on my shoulder because people when we're freshmen in high school don't quite know the most polite way of asking you, "Hey, are you a homosexual?" And I just had a huge chip on my shoulder for that for years. Like basically until senior year when I finally was just like, by then they had stopped asking, but
Yeah.
yeah, oh my god, I was a totally different person. Also, Catholic in high school. Not now. Go on.
Well,
Yeah.
I have certain people that will tell you exactly how I was in high school. I'm not the same that I was in high school. You know what? I have to own up to it. Through high school, I was a bitch. I was young. I was skinny. I was big booty Michael. I wore Gap. I thought I was the ish. I wasn't necessarily mean to, like, I didn't go out of my way to be a mean girl. It's just that I had a type of humor or way that I spoke to people that typically came across as being just down and out bitchy. But I wasn't trying to be that way. It just happened to, I don't know how to explain it, but I became more aware of how I was presenting myself as I got older. I really think that gaining weight when I was 20 really humbled how I looked at myself and how I looked at other people. So it was a great thing that happened to me. Not health wise now, but it was a very humbling experience. But I'm definitely not the same person that I was in high school. And there might be some people that will watch this and comment and talk about all the mean things I've done or said or how they wanted to beat me up in high school because of how mean girl I was. But I wasn't that mean girl. I wasn't that. I was still poor. I just happened to work at the Gap and got discounts.
Yeah. Were you picked on? No, you just said you were mean. Like, I was the one who was picked on. Like, I clearly remember someone in high school my God, we're going to date ourselves, but AOL Instant Messenger was a thing. I mean, it was really the only thing you could have for internet. And I clearly remember somebody made an AOL and pretended they were me and then sent messages to boys in the school, basically like confessing my love for them or whatever. And then hearing about it later and just being like, back then when I found out, I just kind of ignored it because that's what they tell you to do. Now I would not ignore that. I would be very vocal about that shit.
I did in middle school. I had a bully, and then my mom told me that I couldn't cuss, and I ended up confronting the bully when they were following me home, and told them I was going to beat their ass, and then we ended up becoming best friends for the rest of the year. But in high school, I was half a teacher's pet, so I always had the backings of the teachers, but I was also in the musical department, so I spent a lot of time in the musical department, so I really didn't have to, deal with other people. I ate lunch up in the music department, all of that stuff. Now, the year and a half I was in a Mississippi school, that's a slightly different story. Being a person who was I was very, very effeminate. I didn't sag. I wore Gap, all of that stuff. Going into a Southern school, that was a whole different story. But I don't recall a time where I've ever had to fear for my life because I feel like the people that were picking on me, I remember Robert, and there was another guy that was on the this was in Mississippi. I haven't associated with them since sophomore year, but I remember his name was Robert, and there was another one, and they would pick on me all the time, but they were the ones that would say stuff to other people in public but would be extremely nice to me when it was just us. So I think they were what we now will refer to as questioning DLs.
Oh, or they were just like peacocking in front of other people.
Or peacocking.
Yeah, so they could fit in.
But I would always, like, I would lay down, in one of the classes, I would always lay down, and I would peek through my hands, and I would always watch the one staring at me constantly. So that's when I kind of decided, I was like, oh, he wants this. I should have gave it to him. But I didn't, because I was not a whore. I'm sorry, we don't slut shame.
No.
I did not give it up because I was in high school. Hush, mother.
You ready?
Yes.
What do you define as a family? These are getting kind of deep now. Now
Right,
we're
right.
getting in it, you guys.
What do I define as a family? People who support you and want to see you succeed and grow and be better than who you are or better than who you were. I used to have the whole notion that family should support you no matter who you are or what you do. And that is not the case. Because there are families out there who do horrible, horrible things. And to have that mentality that, well, I have to love them and be in their lives 24/7 no matter what because they're family is BS. So now, thanks to friends and all the support that I've gotten and the support that, you know, I have received over my whole extended life, like I took on a new meaning, new meaning for me when it comes to family. So that's what I consider what makes a family.
I mean, kind of same. Like, I think that it's silly to think that family is only people with genetic similarities. And most people in that category aren't family. I think it's the people you find along the way that, you know, have your, like you said, have your back and want to see you grow. And the people that won't judge you. Mm-hmm. I mean, or at least won't judge you in like a malicious way. Like they may like tongue in cheek judge you, or the family is somebody who can tell you that what you're doing is not the right thing to be doing. Because there's a select few people that would say that to me, and I would go, "Oh, okay, yeah."
And they can be friends or they can be family members. It's like not every family member is going to be the best, and not every friend is going to be the best. But, you know, you'll eventually be able to weed out those who you need in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's certainly people you find along the way that you think are family, and then you find out are not.
No.
So.
The more you know. During high school and college.
Oh, God. Okay.
How many boyfriends did you have?
Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. So during high school, I did not have any actual boyfriends. There was a boy who I went to school with, who we had a fun time together, but was not what I didn't identify then as gay or bi or pan. I mean, we didn't even have pan then. So yeah, not boyfriend, but what's up? As far as college, so like here's some backstory. I didn't go to college when I was 27. I was kind of forced to go right out of high school because I really wanted to take a year off. Because, like I had just said, of kind of coming to terms with who I was and wanting to know what that meant and everything. But I was forced to go. I was forced to enroll. I did not go to the school that was very similar to the high school I went to. But we'll say during that age range, I had tons of boyfriends. I mean, I had tons of people who I was around and who I enjoyed their company and who enjoyed my company, we'll say. Michael? But when I was actually in college when I was 27, I was, by that point I was a grown up, so. Michael?
Well, second college experience, only had one during the whole time. Um, High school through college, I had two official, no, yes, two official boyfriends.
I know one. Who was the other one?
So when I lived in Mississippi,
Oh.
there was a boy named Kofi, and we were declared ourselves boyfriend. I even gave him my ring to wear. He came over, and things happened. And then I stupidly broke up with him because people were starting to know about our secret love affair. And then, the other one, M.I. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't have... If we're just thinking about boyfriends, that's it. Now, lovers. That's a different story. That we'll say for another day.
Yeah. It's me, isn't it?
You can go either way.
We're going to say it's me. Do you like it when you receive a phone call without notice? What a 2022 question.
Right? Do I like it when I receive a phone call without notice? I don't mind. I don't have a problem. The only time I have a problem is when you show up without a notice.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
But call. I don't mind.
No, I don't mind either. Because if I don't want to talk to you, I'm just not going to answer the phone.
Silent.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler, if the number isn't saved in my phone, I'm not going to answer it anyway.
That's it right there.
But, yeah, I don't care if people call me. Because I can control, if I answer or not. Like I said, don't just, randomly, roll up to the house. Because, I mean, unless there's, an emergency or whatever. But when you're just I was in the neighborhood. Okay.
You won't even get that from me. Either I won't answer the door, or if I do answer the door, but no, bye. Don't come. Don't show back up. Last but not least, what do you define as manliness?
I define it as antiquated. I think it's outdated. I think, I don't, manliness, it's such what a weird, and that's the thing, I saw that on this list of questions, and I was like, what? How does this fit in with all these other things? But yeah, I just think that it's so gone. I think it's just so outdated at this point. I don't. What do you think?
I mean, I'm just what defines manliness?
I mean, because if you think about it, the opposite, how do you define femininity? I think that's just because first of all, that's just a question you wouldn't ask.
It would go manliness, womanliness, masculine, feminine. So manliness. So either way, it is antiquated. It is not something that there are things that I do that people would consider masculine or manliness, and there are things that I do people would consider womanliness or feminine. And I just an example. A kid, when I had my long braids, a kid came up and asked me. He said, at a grocery store, he said, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And I just looked at him and said, he's probably 6 years old, and I said, "I am everything," and flipped my hair and walked off. But I mean, it's just, because a lot of people like to associate manliness as I'm a person that can fix a door, I killed a bug. Yeah. And, I changed a tire, and it's women and non-binary and everybody else can do the same things. That's something that you can be taught.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's, what a weird question.
it was.
I mean, as far as like pronouns, because I think we should probably put that in here, because I think it's important for people to know. Mine are any. I don't care. He, she, they. I mean, I guess technically I say genderqueer, but there's lots of different ways to describe it. I mean,
Yeah.
what about yours?
I am a cisgendered homosexual black male who goes by he, she, they, for the simple fact that I hate when people try to feminize me as if it's a bad thing. When
Yeah.
they go girl or they say she or they go ooh, I'm like, if that is the energy, if I'm giving you feminine energy and that's what comes to your mind, go with it. Let use it. Girl, she, whatever you want to do, because all of it is the same. It's the energy that I'm putting out. If you call me man, they, whatever, go with it. Go with God, Crispy.
I say that quote all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much that's where I stand on that.
Yeah. Well, that's our last
So-
question.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. So thank you. Hopefully, you learned something that maybe you wouldn't have thought just from looking at one of the two of us, or you had this on in the background as you were cleaning and not paying attention at all. Either way, we love you and support you.
Yeah. And keep an eye out for
For more videos, we have some fun reaction stuff planned for June for Pride Month. I'm going to make Michael hate his life, and it's going to be marvelous. And so, yeah, we will update. Keep a watch on that YouTube's. Maybe hit subscribe. Hit the little button so it notifies you whenever we decide to do another video.
yeah. And I think he's really going to terrorize me during the month of October. But I don't.
Oh, it's going to be so great. I can't wait. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, go away!